All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezer Show, our weekly rock news outlet for you here. My name's Murph, and man, we got a swinging show today. We got Ozzy back in the news. Ozzy can't keep out of the news. Geez, Neil Young, The Who. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, The Who. Or actually, we've got quite a bit to talk about them. And John Five, he's got a rebuttal that we need to talk about that came up this week. And our good buddy Steve Van Zant, he's mellowing out. We need to talk about it. And MTV is in the news, if you will. So we got to bring that up also. But can't do it without my buddy from up there in Wayne's World. That would be Doc Vox. How you doing there, Doc?
Yeah. It's into July already here now, July 1st. So nice weather for early July, no doubt. So enjoying that. But yeah, thanks for stopping by for another week of rock news. And yeah, we got all kinds of stories all over the place this week. But starting off with animated versions that could potentially be very cool. If not one, but two of our hard rock
Here we
heroes.
go. Yeah, here it is right here. Headline is from Rockfeed. Sharon Osbourne is producing a cartoon about Ozzy and Lemmy. Now, oh, there they are right there, two pretty boys. But when I first heard this, Doc, I was wasn't real hip on that. And then you sort of brought me around. It's like just think of it. If it's done right, a cartoon of Ozzy and Lemmy, this could be freaking outstanding. But there's a lot of buts in there. But if it's done correctly, man, I don't know. What do you? I know you're hip on it, and now I am a little more, depending on how it's done. What you got any ideas on the format?
Yeah, it sounds like well, they're superheroes. They're gonna be solving crimes and helping people or whatever. So yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
guess
great.
it's done, and Sharon's shopping it around, looking for a network to show it. So there's a little bit. They had the video a while back, a Hellraiser, where it's animated version. There's a song they did together, and they have animated versions. They're like flying around in outer space and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm sure that kind of sparked the idea of it a little bit. And the video looks really cool. So if they kind of do that with the TV show or whatever they're gonna do,
I don't know. You
that could
remember, of course,
potentially be pretty cool.
everybody remembers the Beatles. The Beatles cartoon. At least us older people do. I remember it well, and that was goofy. Very
Right.
poor. It was really poor animation. And the voices were even worse. It was just
The
terrible.
voices were horrible. I recently came across it and watched it just for old time's sake. And the guy that does George is the same guy that's Colonel McBragg's butler or whatever.
Oh,
Oh, what a
McBride.
hair-raising experience! Yeah, it's the
Quite.
same guy that does George. Yeah, it's
I'll
like
be
back then
darned.
they just had the guys working in the studio, or whatever, and they just did whatever
Stock
voices. Hey,
players.
you can sound like George. Okay, yeah, you're George.
But
And
we'll
yeah,
see. We'll
so
see how it goes.
I'm sure this will be many steps above that. So
It could be brilliant. I hope so. But looking at some of the comments on the article on Facebook, and the first one, of course, honestly, cash grab all the way. They need to just settle the heck down, spend the rest of their days together and in peace. Really. Uh, and again, another one. I'd be really excited about this, but it kind of feels like a cash grab to me. And mostly ambivalent to negative. Anybody who calls this a cash grab probably doesn't have any money. This will be great. Take my money. It's all over the book. But I myself, I think he's done. Well, he's done enough. I think
well,
he's
isn't
earned
anything they
a
do at this
retirement.
point going to be considered a cash grab? I mean,
He's worth
I don't know.
what do we checked out? He's like worth 400 million or something. He's really rich,
Oh,
really
probably,
really
yeah.
rich. Maybe not 400, but he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So I don't know. They just can't stay out of the spotlight. Some people that's their existence requires them to just keep pushing. And Sharon, obviously she got that from her dad. That just keep promote promote
Right.
promote. That was her dad, promote promote promote. So They're not going to stop, obviously. I personally wish he would. I mean, I keep seeing pictures posting up of him walking with his cane, and it's, why do you need to do anything? He's got
Uh,
grandkids. Go enjoy your grandkids. But,
Before we
some
get too
people,
far along on that,
some
there's
people, yeah.
another. I'm not sure about this project. It'd be worth checking out, and it's probably also sparked the idea. It's called "No Remorse: An Illustrated True Stories of Lemmy Kilmister and Motorhead." So I think it's
Oh,
like a graphic novel kind of a situation. And
really?
so yeah, they've kind of been dabbling into this a little bit between the video and then the graphic novel. So
Boy,
they were good friends, Ozzy and Lemmy. They were really good friends. They
I
kind
don't
of grew
doubt
up in
that
the
at
same
all.
era, and they were both into the same kind of stuff. They were both big Beatles fans, both big World War II buffs, and so they were the best of friends. And so yeah, seems like I don't know, seems like a natural kind of fit. Why not?
Yeah,
Put it on
yeah.
with what's the one Metalocalypse, Death Clock, and Metalocalypse. Have them pair
There you
up some
go.
kind of way or
There you
something. I
go.
don't know. Why not?
At least Ozzy doesn't have to participate either. He didn't have to participate, thank
Oh no.
gosh, at this point. And that brings up our next subject, and it pertains to our man Ozzy. There he is, right there. Hey, Oz, looking confused, but this is from. Let me see, what do we got here? This is from Blabbermouth. Ah, the good people of Blabbermouth. Headline: Ozzy Osbourne cancels his appearance at Phoenix's Mad Monster Party. He is, quote, unable to travel at this time. That came from Sharon. And this was supposed to run from July 12th to July 14th over there in Arizona. Yo, over there in Arizona, yeah, hey there. And on Tuesday, the 25th, Ozzy's wife and manager, Sharon, shared a video message where she quotes, regretfully, the Osborne family have to cancel our upcoming appearance at the Mad Monster Party in Phoenix because Ozzy is unable to travel at this time. However, Jack, who is their son, obviously, will be there flying the flag for the Osborns. But they had all sorts of meets and greets and crap
Right.
set
They
up.
had like a
So,
package deal and stuff, and
so yeah, and
people are
so
gonna
she,
get refunded on that ticket.
yeah,
So
everyone who bought the Osborne package will, of course, get full refunds. Why do they keep pushing this old man? I'm surprised he's still alive. You got the wife who's all full of piss and vinegar pushing this old guy who should definitely retire because he's
are you
got
talking about Ozzy or our
Parkinson's and
president?
that's right. Oh no, I'm talking about Odyssey. Wow,
Okay,
but yeah,
never mind.
good.
Okay, yeah.
Well, good point there too, though. At some point, the aging process it just takes hold, and there's just nothing we can do about it. You know, geez, so she should let him. I can't think that he's wanting to do this. I have just a feel he's just doing it to please his wife. But come on, Sharon.
Well, I think there's a part of him that wants to. He's always. We thought about that early on when this kind of stuff was going on, and that Sharon was just kind of pushing him. But then you get the statements from Ozzy. I'm going to die on stage, and that kind of stuff. So I think he's just a trooper, and he comes from that working
Boy,
class background. Just never,
yeah, in
leave it all out
2003.
there, kind of thing. So yeah.
2003 was diagnosed with Parkin 2, which is
But
a
who's going to
rare.
keep booking him for these events? I would, what's the odds? You got maybe a 1 in 10 chance at best that he's going to be able to make it. What? I mean,
And
this is off in the future. It's in the middle of July, July 12th through the 16th, and they're already calling it off. So
wow,
it's not like
yeah,
a
yeah,
last minute thing came up or something. I mean, why even book him? If I were a booking agent, why bother?
yeah. Well, and of
Or
course,
put some
Park.
kind of stipulation in there. Excuse me. This was
Yeah,
something with the whole family, right? So maybe
it was,
something,
but then they
a
only sent Jack.
discounted version of just without Ozzy or something. I don't know. Which, quite honestly, who would want to just see Sharon and the kids? I mean, I guess that's
Well,
something.
yeah,
But
yeah, and it ain't gonna get any better. Parkinson's, a neurodegenerative disorder, and it's not fatal, but it increases the risk of pneumonia, falls, and
right,
other conditions
complications
that may
from
lead to
yeah.
death. So it's a shame, and they go on in the article. We talked about this last November. He had a comment with Rolling Stone saying, if I can't be at my best, I don't want to be out there. He's never going to be at his best anymore. It's over. So I just hope he doesn't, try to give it one more shot because I don't. He can't. I wish they just stop it. Stop it
Yeah.
with the one more. Let me see. Where is it here? He's been taking it one day at a time, and if I can perform again, I will. But it's been like saying farewell to the best relationship of my life. Blah blah blah. But and then he goes on to say how we never got a chance to say goodbye. Blah blah. Whoa, wait a minute, Ozzy. What was the concert that's been on TV, 13 or whatever, where it was basically their last concert,
Was
where they were
Savage, but
saying
he's talking about
goodbye. So
yeah,
he's talking about his
yeah.
solo. Okay, okay, that's where they differentiate. All right, all right. Nonetheless, he's not gonna. No, just enough. Enough is enough. See him walking around with his cane. He's not gonna get any better. Just like everybody with diseases like that, like like you brought up. So, what a shame. But it is Ozzy. He wants to keep trying, but it's over, brother. It is over. So moving on. Now here's an interesting one. We talked about this a little bit. Neil Horse and Crazy Young. Just kidding. Neil Young and Crazy Horse. Again, they canceled a few concerts earlier, and now they're taking an unexpected break. So this is a big break on their going tour. And wow, wow, wow! I wonder what's going on there, man. There's no illness, sick. I don't know of any diseases running around real
Well, the
quick.
way this is all kind of laid out is kind of odd. Talking about I guess a couple of the band members got ill after a Pine Knob concert. Do you
Mm.
remember 2 years ago, Santana took ill after a Pine Knob? Remember he took
Uh,
ill on stage. Remember, and kind of had a
oh
little
yeah.
episode and everything. So I don't know what's going
Oh,
up in Pine Knob. It's up suburb of Detroit.
Detroit. Oh boy. Jeez.
Just seems odd that now they're calling off all these future ones. It seems like if a couple people are coming down with an illness, it's something like a bug going around or a food poisoning situation or something like that. Where it's short term. You're not going to be calling off the rest. It just seems very odd that if multiple people
Wow.
have this illness and they're calling off the whole tour. So
Oh yeah.
it's called. They also they have a new a new old album coming out called The Early Days, DAZE, and
Mm-hmm.
it's from '69 with Crazy Horse.
Wow.
That's the thing they did. So
69,
yeah,
dude.
yeah, they're gonna be putting that out. So, um, but yeah, you want to
Oh
be out
boy.
there touring to support it for sure, and now they're not able to for I don't know. You can't believe anything anymore. Any statements anybody puts out anymore, you just gotta take it with a grain of salt.
Can't believe anything.
You kind of read between the lines, like I said here. It's a couple guys took ill. Now you're off for an extended period of time. It just doesn't add up. So
The word of
I
the
don't know.
decades is the word of the generation is gaslight.
Gaslighting,
People can
yes.
lie, 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 and even those who know it's a lie, they just, oh well, whatever. And
We
it
are
is
in a post-truth society,
truth.
my
We are.
friend.
We are. Good call there, Doctoroni. Post-truth society, and I have to agree with that, my friend, because things are really messed up out there. I'll tell you. Post-truth, baby. But yeah, Neil Young, and there's been a few others, from what I recall. Man, there's been quite other tours that have had to. I think Pearl Jam. I think they've had to cancel a few more, if I'm not mistaken. Boy, oh boy, what's up with that, Doc? Everybody's getting old. That's the problem. All our
Right?
all our heroes, as much as we remember them back in the day, everybody's getting old. Gee, many creepers.
It is. It's seeing those potential paychecks. And you think, yeah, yeah, I can make it. Sure, yeah, book it. Yeah, and time comes, and 3 months down the road, you're not so up to it. So
Yep,
I
yep,
don't
yep.
know. Sometimes the
Oh, I see Peter Frampton's going out on tour. He's one of
yeah,
them
he's
guys
doing another one.
who's
He's one.
really
He
old.
just,
I think
yeah,
he has to sit down now
right.
through his whole gig. Gosh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he did
yeah.
the tour last year. What do you call it? I don't know, it was like one farewell tour or something
A
along those
positively
lines.
thankful. I
And
think
and, and
he's
now this
this
coming
one
out
is
with
a
another one. So
positively thankful.
well,
Give
he
him
just got
uncle.
inducted into Hall of Fame, so I'm sure he's gonna want to capitalize on that and get out there on tour. And that's probably gonna draw some tickets. Just the fact that he's in the Hall of Fame now. So yeah,
Good
as long as
deal,
he can
man.
do it, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So cool. Here's an interesting couple of bits here. Peter Townsend. Where is he? There he is, right there. He tells. Let me see. What are we? Where are we? We're getting it from NME. Pete Townsend tells us about his new Quadrophenia ballet and the future of the Who. So here we go. Here we go. It's one thing to have Tommy the Rock Opera. That's not enough. I gotta go full tilt ballet. So they're actually, well, actually it started with his wife actually, but yeah, he's gonna turn Quadrophenia into a mod ballet because back in the day, in those days in England, there were two groups that were opposed to each other, the mods and the rockers.
Yeah.
Which he talks about in the album,
And the
Quadrophenia.
mockers.
Good call. Yeah, yeah, that was that Ringo who said that?
I
I
think
think it
so. I don't
was.
know.
Yeah, it was Ringo in the Hard Day's Night, and they asked him, "What do you think about what are you, a mod or a rocker?" I'm a mocker.
I'm a mocker.
So yeah, yeah, it's gonna be next year. Gonna do a production. Holy cow! I think it's nuts myself, but I don't know anything about ballet.
Well, we've been talking about the Black Sabbath ballet. It seems to be quite successful, and what I saw of it, just the clips on YouTube, seem pretty cool. So, Quadrophenia is definitely got a whole story to it. And it's a whole, he's into that. That's Townsend.
Yeah.
He's always into the rock opera and putting out the big concept album and everything. So there's definitely a concept to it. Turn it
Uh,
into a ballet, I mean,
no,
I
he
don't
was
know.
an
Like I
art
said, he
student.
always seems like the type that's delved into that kind of stuff.
He
So,
was an art student. He says, what inspires me is trying to do something that has a slightly more ambitious thread. It's not me being pompous. It's just something that seems to fit more into the disconjunction that I felt when I left art school and ended up in the band. It felt like there was unfinished business for me, which was the art. So you're right, man. Yeah, he's just doing what's always been, it's always been his thing. He just sort of got sidetracked by music. Boy, what a hell of a sidetrack
yeah,
is that, huh?
what a detour. Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, and his wife Rachel Fuller, she did an orchestral score of the album, and they performed it at the Royal Albert Hall in 2015. Recorded it with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. So he said, I heard her score, and I remember saying to her, "I can just see dancers dancing. It has a tone of provoke Prokofiev. Geez, here we go with me and the Russian names. Prokofiev about it. So here we go, man. His wife has inspired him to try this, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like, yeah, you brought up a good example, but we'll see what happens with this one. I don't know. Could be too ambitious. What do you think about that, there, Doctor Rooney?
Yeah, yeah. Just because it works for one doesn't mean it's going to work for another. We always know it's a copycat world, and it doesn't refer to he doesn't refer to the Black Sabbath ballet, but it's got a I'm sure he was totally aware of it, and it had to inspire him at some level. And even if
Yeah.
this was something that was on the back burner, seeing them do it, kind of thing, okay, it can be done. That's who knows, but I'm sure somewhere it was in the mix somewhere. But
Oh
so
man, crazy cool. But yeah, yeah. That's Townsend, Well, hopefully he's got a winner here. He could sure use one. And they did a pretty extensive uh, uh, interview with him, so it's very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
If
there's
you
a lot in there.
and then he talks about, well, what about the Who now? What about the Who? Are we going to keep going with the Who? And he says, yeah, I'm pretty sure there will be more. I can't really see the point of making a big deal of the last Who shows, apart from the fact that it might help sell a few tickets. When we started the last U.S. tour, the year before last, some of the seats were not filled. An easy way to fill seats is to say, we're not coming back, or this could be the last set of shows. What I would
Well, if anybody
prefer
should know, he should know.
what I would prefer was that the band adjusted itself to the audience that wants to see it rather than just saying, we need to fill arenas in order to go home with enough money to make the whole thing worthwhile. The story of the end of The Who is going to be either when Roger or I drop dead or can't function anymore on the stage. Wow. And then he says, a lot of the time when we are on the stage together, it's not all that comfortable. And you can see that. And it's sad to say, that a lot of dedicated Who fans come to every show in order to see Roger hit me in the face again, or me to smash him over the head with a guitar, or for one of us to drop dead. And I've been thinking about it a long time, and he basically said that they went when Entwistle died. That was basically the fire was gone, but they had a tour lined up, so they had to do the tour, and it felt pretty good. So
Yeah, he passed like early on in the tour, right? It was like way or like second, third show, something like that, if I remember right. I don't know.
yeah, Jimmy.
It seems like it was something like that. Yeah.
And then he doesn't shun the idea of the Who going hologram at some point. He says you won't have
Yeah, I thought
anything
that
to
was
do with it.
interesting too. Yeah.
He won't have anything to do with it. If somebody else does it, more power to him. So that's basically his opinion on
Yeah,
that.
that's what he says. He said, if somebody wants to do it, I'm not gonna stop them. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's a good interview. So we'll see what happens with him. Now the problem is, here's the problem. Oh, where is it? Where's the picture? There's Tommy right there. So here's another one, another headline from NME, of course, and the headline says the Who's Tommy musical, which has been out there, is to close on Broadway after just 4 months. Despite a successful free Broadway run, ticket sales tapered quickly. So not everything is gold. Uh, yeah, 4 months it sold. Came from Chicago and went to New York and just fizzled out, baby. So yeah, the album from '69, and it debuted on Broadway in '93.
yeah, they
So
had a
it's
version back then that was successful.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like they do now, they can't have anything original anymore. They gotta just rehash everything. So or as they call it,
A,
reimagined.
a
Yeah,
reimagined revival. Oh boy, good call on
yeah.
that one. So yeah, they thought they there was money to be made, but despite a successful pre-Broadway run, ticket sales tapered quickly when the musical left Chicago for New York. Having opened in March, the final performance is reportedly set for July 21st. And here's the problem. Once the musical has officially closed, it will have played 132 Broadway performances and 20 previews, the revenue from which won't offset the 15.7 million budget. So they lost money, man. Not
Lost
only aren't they
money.
making money, they lost money. They got to shut her down now. So, oh, that's got to blow. Oh, jeez.
But it's kind of one of those things too. I don't know. I don't follow Broadway, but it seems like it's kind of a trend now. I know they got the Huey Lewis musical out there, Heart of Rock and Roll or whatever. That
Uh huh.
seems to be doing okay. And there's a couple of there's a Fleetwood Mac inspired one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of them. So it's getting saturated. It's kind of on the heels of the Rock of Ages, that god awful thing. You saw that. It was
Man.
successful. So are people, hey, let's do a Broadway show about old rock and roll bands or whatever. And Tommy was an already done deal. It was a known entity, and let's rehash that. Excuse me, reimagine that,
Yeah.
and put it out there. And people were like, no, we're not having it this time, man. No, we'll go see something else. So
No, but they're all getting tired and old anyway. Remember last week, Daltrey mentioned how he hates people are going online and finding the set lists for their
right,
songs, and for some reason that's pissing him off. Like, why? Well, he said at the time, well, we can't have
because he's a
surprises
crusty old
then.
man.
We
Yeah.
can't have surprises then. Well, then before the show, you change the set
You
right
definitely
before.
have surprises then. That even makes it more of a surprise if you think this is what you're going to see. If you come in not knowing anything, then everything's a surprise. But if you're expecting something and there's something else, that is the definition of a surprise.
Yeah, man.
Come on, Roger. Come
Uh,
on, man.
Come on, man. Dang. But yeah, that is what that is. So, oh, I love this. Every we talk about Motley Crue ad nauseum, about everything possible, everything under the sun possible with them. And the newest thing, we all know that we've seen video evidence. Probed, we probed extensively into this subject. We've seen actual live video proof of Vince Neil not singing, of Tommy Lee not drumming, and of Nikki Six not playing bass. Now they may have been actually playing, but there's video proof that they're playing with a track. They're playing
Yep.
along to a track. All three of them. And now somebody actually come out with a smarmy thing to accuse John Five of pre-recorded guitar tracks during a YouTube or a concert, Motley Crue concert, and it says several. Let me give credit to where credit's due. That's the good folks of Blabbermouth. Uh, it says several videos posted on YouTube have suggested that John Five was not playing during the song "Wild Side," with the guitarist seemingly not moving his hands while the music continues to be heard. And you're thinking, "Oh, this is something else, or something." But however, yeah, John Five, he claws back and says, "I want to be clear up some confusion. Someone on the internet or some website is saying, oh, John's playing to the backing tracks. His hands isn't even on a guitar. But I do this a lot. It's just the hammer-ons and pull-offs. But if you're not a musician, you don't really understand what's going on. That's what I am. I'm all hammer-ons and pull-offs. My leads, when you see me, it's mostly
Right.
hammer. So I know exactly what he's talking about. So here we are, some keyboard warrior, you know. Although since we've seen the other three, what's to say that John Five isn't doing it now, since the other
Exactly.
three are? But and then he demonstrated a hammer-on and pull-off technique on the song to pretty much put everything to the bed. But if the other three guys weren't doing this, it wouldn't even have been brought up,
Right.
Mister
Yeah, you hear that. You don't think John Five would be. I mean, he's John Five. He doesn't need to, or
Mister Juan
would
Cinco.
even want to. I mean, he enjoys playing. So,
Oh
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
then you hear all the other Motley Crue stuff, all the other again that word gaslighting that we've come across over recent years, and it's to the point we brought this. It's been a while since we brought this up, but I remember I had commented on a Nikki Six thing about him not playing bass, and it was not liked but loved by Joe Elliott. Remember that? so yeah, it's kind of
Oh,
kind of speaks for itself there. But
I,
yeah,
s-
we
I
know
s-
the bands. They're just been crying wolf too much and just been trying to gaslight us too much.
that's
So yeah,
right.
when something this comes up, it gets a little notice. Oh, it's John Five. And you think, oh, come on.
Yeah, yeah. But boy, and yeah, it's just you don't know what you're getting anymore, basically. And now, there's groups now out there boasting that we're going on tour and there will be no backing tracks. That's their big thing, which is good to know there's actual musicians on there. When we grew up going to tour, there were no backing tracks. No, no. When I saw the Who in about '76, when they did Baba O'Reilly and Won't Get Fooled Again, Keith Moon put on the headphones because he had to follow the backing track for the keyboards. But
Right.
yeah, other than that, really everybody's been pretty cool back then. Even Rush, when we saw Rush, Getty on the pedals and the keys and the bass and the everything was
Right.
real. So freaking A, we had it made back in the day, and that's all I got to say about that. All right, moving on. Uh-oh. Got a angry young man here, not young, but angry. He looks angry. He looks like Stevie Van Zandt. Holy cow. Yeah, here we go. From classic rock. Here's the headline. We are living in an insane asylum. I keep asking, where are the tough good guys? The E Street Band, the Sopranos legend, Little Steven, fears for all our futures. And subheadline, Bruce Springsteen's right hand man, Stevie Van Zandt, admits to being increasingly concerned about the state of the world. Wow. That's mind blowing, Doc. That's revolutionary. Thank you, Stevie Van Zandt. You know,
Yeah,
how
this
long we
came
been?
out of an interview he did with the Guardian over in the UK. And the article, I think it's supposed to be, he's got a documentary coming out about himself and his activism. And there's a lot of people speaking on his behalf, Bono and Springsteen and
Yeah.
Joan Jett and, folks like that. And that part's all well and good and everything. But yeah, then this kind of part kind of takes over the interview. And
Mm.
yeah, he's, been a little outspoken politically lately and not
Well, not even really. Well, lately, yes, he's upped it,
Yeah.
but back in the day,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
if
He's always
folks
absolutely.
remember,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's look back at Sun City. That may ring a bell in some folks' brains. There, Sun City, South Africa. The there, Sun City was what one of the vacation hotspots or whatever, where a lot of the big
Yeah.
bands would
Yeah.
go to and whatnot. But at the same time, while all these bands are playing and entertaining folks and whatnot, if you remember, they had apartheid down there. Really racist crap going on down there. And Stevie Van Zandt took a stand against Sun City and actually wrote a song, put it together, had a whole bunch of stars come and sing on it oh geez, you know, you want to the list is unbelievable. It's like 40
Oh, yeah. It was
people at
way
least.
bigger than We Are the World. Yeah. There's
Oh
tons of
my
folks.
goodness, it's crazy. I can't tell you. It's just too long to list.
Oh,
But
yeah.
so he did the song City Song, and I don't know if it made any difference, but he tried it. Somebody tried something.
No, it definitely made a difference. All bands, quit playing there. If you had nobody to play there, at the time, I remember Sabbath and Queen each played gigs there, and they caught a lot of crap about it. Queen still catching crap about it, I think, time to time.
Wow,
Like, why'd you guys play
wow.
there? It's like, hey, man, we. But
Ah,
yeah, it became a big thing, not to play Sun City, and it all started off with him. So, it
yes.
definitely did some damage with that, for sure.
So it's selected as record of the year. The song was by most of the music critics, and hopefully, yeah, it I can see the point. To be like somebody going to play in Israel right now. It's like it's not the right time to do that.
All right.
But then so he did good back in the day. Oh, good for you, little Stevie. We love you for that. But he's gotten really goofy lately. In his latest rant, he fears for all our futures. Well, where the hell have you been, pal? Really? Do you think we're all freaking stupid? Like we didn't see what was going on in this freaking world? Yeah, we're living in an insane asylum. Yes, we really are. Good grief. He says, here he goes. He admitted that he says the planet is, quote, in the danger zone. I'm concerned for the first time, actually, he says about it. The insanity in the Middle East has put things in the danger zone for the first time. It was inconceivable, here we go, that Donald Trump could possibly win again. What's that got to do with the Middle East? We had no war during Trump's time. But I keep going, could possibly win again until recently. And now, unfortunately, it's a possibility. We're living in an insane asylum, frankly. I keep asking, where are the tough good guys? I don't see too many of them. Well, quite honestly, I know everybody hates him, but we didn't have any wars during 4 years of a certain person's presidency, a time at which I I redid my mortgage for 3% fixed. I was paying a buck 92 a gallon. So I'm guys like this, really, these one percenters, the real things, the grocery bill, that's what hits me. My electric bill, which was skyrocketed last month, really. This guy,
Well, he's asking, "Where's all the tough good guys?" What's your perspective of good guy?
yeah. What do you want?
For obviously he's a Democrat, and I don't think you're going to see anybody standing out over there. It's all part of a system, all part of a machine, and
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to be standing out. And
At this
being
point, I've had it with politicians, though. They're
yeah,
horrible. I'd rather take businessmen who've already made their money and don't have to go to Washington because that's all they do. They go there and they do the inside dealing and shit, and pretty soon they're worth millions and millions.
yeah,
And then, of course, don't even get me started on the benefits packet they get when they leave. Not like us
right,
regular working Americans,
right.
401ks and hopefully a pension, but usually not. So guys like this, these one percenters that just really, the world's going to explode at Donald. Well, I hope it'd be nice to not have wars. It'd be nice to have a buck 92 gallon. It'd be nice to have a lower interest rate again. It just pisses me off. I try to shut up about this stuff, but
Man,
doggone
there's
it.
just so much division now. I don't see I don't see an end. I don't see us coming together, and that's something like
No,
a 9/11, God forbid, or something.
I
And
know.
even then, it just seems we're
But
just so divided, and they like it that way. They want us divided. They want us to pick teams because if you
yeah,
don't pick a team, then you're on
that
nobody's
keeps
team. They
them their
want you to have to
power.
pick
Yeah,
a team.
keeps their power with them. Yeah,
So
yeah, and yeah, and boy, you know, I just wish he'd worry more. Just worry less about one man who I'm still can't figure out what he did so damn wrong, because boy, I sure lived. I'm I told you I'm looking for a
well,
part-time gig right now because prices and everything have gone up so high. I had to retire 2 years early because of my health, but I was doing fine, and now I'm not. So I'm gonna go find a part-time gig.
they got to have a boogeyman to protect you from.
Yeah,
That's the whole
yeah.
shtick.
It's such a drag. It's such a bummer. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. They had it right. The '60s, some of them folks had it right. You know, but we're just
You have said it many
oh,
times on this very channel. If it weren't for the leaders, all of us folks would get along just
the
fine.
regular people. Yeah, yeah. You're just a brother. You're just a family away, man. So, oh, real quick before we bug out, I do have to bring up. It can't.
Oh, we got another story.
Well, yeah, but we'll end with that story.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Taylor. You know,
Oh, jeez.
everybody hates her so much. Well, most people do. But I just saw this and it blew my mind. She, she boosted the,
Oh, wait a minute, real quick. Hold on.
go,
Hold
sure,
that thought. Before
sure,
we move on from the Steve Van Zandt thing, the whole thing we started talking about for the
right.
article,
Mm-hmm.
he's got a documentary coming out called Steve Van Zandt Disciple.
Mm-hmm.
And how that comes out, he had this band, Little Steven and the Disciples of Soul. So that seems to be a running theme with him.
Okay.
And that's his life, music, and activism. And yeah, it's going to be folks like Bono and Bruce and folks like that talking about how great he is with his activism. And we just said that back then it was definitely a good thing that he did. But
He's gone
yeah,
nuts,
all
man.
right. So anyway, I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure we included all that.
Little Steven. Yeah, yeah. Boy, I bet he wish he could provide a boost to England like this Eras tour did. It boosted the UK economy. Taylor Swift's Eras tour boosted the UK economy by £300 million. That's insane. That's wow. That's power, man. There's your power right there. £300 million. Jiminy creepers. Yeah, yeah. Little, jeez. I want. Wow, that's just mind blowing, man. She's just like
I've
she's
been
a
keeping
force.
up with the inner workings of the tour, but I have heard that there are folks actually flying over there. It was cheaper to fly over there and catch a show in Europe than to get a ticket here in the States and go
I
see
don't
her.
doubt that
So
at all. I don't doubt that at all. She's a force, man. And then she went along. She went on to the Eras tour to Ireland, and then who's got to open up his freaking mouth? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good old, good old Bono. He sent a he sent her some flowers along with a note. Well, actually, the whole band did.
ah,
The whole YouTube band sent her flowers and a note that
okay.
read, "Welcome back to our homeland, hometown. Leave some of it standing." Which is, she's a force, man. Ain't nobody bigger than her in the concert scene. Period. End of story. Signed by all the guys. So, well, they have to. I'm sure Bono wants to do a duet with her. So he's sucking up. Yeah. Who doesn't? Because whoever does it's gonna be
It's golden.
golden.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
golden guaranteed.
Yep.
So yeah, and then I saw it was all over the news. One of her concerts where her boyfriend played one of the tuxedo studs on stage, one of the dancer dudes. So they're having all sorts of freaking fun. They don't give a squat about anybody else. So good for them, man. But Doc, good for them. But this has people talking. MTV, they are taking down, according to the site Consequence Sound, MTV News is taking down their 30-year digital archive from the airwaves. Thousands of news stories, profiles, interviews, and other editorial features are no longer accessible online. What do you think about that there, Dr. Reno, huh? Fucking A.
Yeah, they shut down their news department last year. We reported, I remember a report on that back in May of 23. And now, just kind of without warning or ceremony or anything, they just kind of taking all the archives down and not accessible. And reason being, people don't realize, I certainly didn't realize, there's a lot of money involved in insurance with that kind of stuff. He was talking about what do
Is
you call it,
there?
errors and omissions insurance, and licensing costs, and just all kinds of stuff. So if you're not generating the revenue, I mean, you think just to keep up a website, it's just the cost to keep up the website, but
Yeah.
no, there's a lot of insurances involved and stuff
I'll be
that you don't even think
darned.
about. So so
Well,
so are they gonna make it a subscription kind of thing, or pay
bingo,
upon
ching
access,
ching.
or
There we go.
yeah?
That's that.
So
That is the consensus online on the comments on the article. Yeah, yeah. You nail it, man. They're gonna turn it into like they do everything else. They're gonna put it behind a paywall so that you got to pay to get to it. Guaranteed. One of the, so I saw a comment from some guy who he sounded pretty knowledgeable. Says, that this is my business, this is what I do. A very long article. He pointed out how they do everything, how they do it, and said, guaranteed, this isn't going anywhere. They're just going to get money out of it. They got to make
it's
some
just a
money out of it.
shame. I mean, here's just treasure trove, archives of rock from
Oh, I
the
imagined.
last, back in the '90s. Oh my God, going back and watch some old grunge stuff, all that stuff.
Yeah, Richie. What's that late
Whatever,
night
hip
heavy
hop
metal
banging,
show?
whatever.
What
Oh,
was it?
Headbangers Ball, yeah,
Headbangers Ball. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
People will pay to see it, so they know that everything. Doc, nothing's going to be free anymore. I got cable, but I also got an antenna. So if the cable goes out, kiss my ass. I'll just go to the antenna and watch good old WGN channel 9 in Chicago. So it's all good. Gee, but yeah, everything's becoming paid. Technology is ruining everything. But I'm speaking as a geezer. These youngsters, they're so quick and bam on the technology, bam, 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 bam. Us geezers, our brains are tired. I can't figure out all this crap, the algorithms and any of that. I can't figure any of it out, and it sucks. But it is fun doing the Rock and Roll Geezer show, I must say. So thanks a lot, everybody, for stopping by. How was that for moving along, huh? Thanks for stopping by, man. Been a crazy cool show. Lots of cool articles. And of course, if you can, subscribe, comment, view. It's all good to us, man. We're just having a great time, and we sure appreciate anybody watching. And by golly, we dig in. We'll see you again next week. So have a good one. And why don't you take this puppy home, Doc?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for everybody for hanging out with us for another week. And if your first time checking us out, please subscribe so you don't lose us. And we do it every single Monday. And do it next Monday. And hope you're here to watch us. So until then, have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.